Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's take a look at Queen Metalia, our lethal Insidious Quest that has dropped for the Sailor Moon collab. And the important gimmicks for this stage are warps and blocks. They're also damage rolls, but you can somewhat get around them. The important thing for this quest is that Queen Metalia does not drop. And the first thing you need to realize on the first stage is that the Pierce Obstructors and the Cerberus are pairs. So the ones on the left are one pair, and the ones on the right are another pair. You need to take them both in the same turn, otherwise they will revive each other. And if you leave them for too long, they will explode. The dogs, I believe, also will defense down you. So if you happen to get that plus the explosion, you're pretty much dead. If you're able to take out all four skulls, then you are going to get this blackout effect, which flips the board, and you can see the skull is on the bottom. And now you need to hit that skull because the skull will defense down everybody else and lets you take down the Agni as well as the Spectres to prevent them from doing even more bad stuff. Again, the Spectres are pairs, so you need to take them down both in the same turn, otherwise they'll revive each other. And that Agni in the middle, he shoots out a pretty annoying spike attack to anybody nearby him, so if you end up being close to him, you are probably going to take a lot of damage. He is destroyable when that defense down is up, but as you can see, if you take down the Spectres, you don't actually have to worry about it. Stage 2, again, you have to take down the Pierce Obstructor along with the Cerberus in the same turn. I have basically, pray to the gods to get this correctly. You just go vertically and hope you end up on the correct half, top half or bottom half, and then take him out. Unfortunately, Moriranmaru there was in a bad position, so couldn't do much. The worst thing that could happen is you getting stuck in between the Agni and the Pierce Obstructor, but honestly, I do not have the player skill to figure that out properly, so I am just praying and going vertical here. My team, as you can see, we've got Benzaiten in that Ascension form in the first slot. Her strike shot is going to be super helpful here. It does a lot of damage. It already goes beyond what's necessary to deal damage, as well as having that recovery effect to help you with your HP situation, because it is a little tough. Moriranmaru in the middle, 2 slots, they are there just for the extra damage. They have the Slayer on the weak points, as well as being able to take see, there's that spike attack from the Agni I was talking about. Having warps and blocks are, allow him to move around, which is really important. Unfortunately, his strike shot, which is the electricity field, isn't super helpful, but that's okay. The important thing for this stage, I think I realized at the very end of the session, is for those that don't have no block, that Agni there is in a perfect position for you to pinch in between itself as well as the weak point, as you can see right there. So if you don't have no block, you can actually get in there and wedge yourself in there much more easier than if you did have no block. And as you can see, I nearly died, but that's okay. We've got Benzaiten here to dish out damage. And again, you have to just basically hit that skull first to defense down the boss. And I forget if I said this already, but the weak point does move every time you hit said weak point. So you just got to make sure that you are able to flip back and forth between each one and not waste a turn by trying to hit that weak point over and over again. You do have to constantly move. One way to avoid, I guess, dishing out major damage in one shot, I guess. Kind of a bummer. But yeah, you do have to kill her before that middle number hits 0. If it hits 0, you're pretty much dead. Lu, of course, I don't have him, but his strike shot, he turns him into a Pierce type, and he is also able to ignore blocks. So when necessary, super helpful. And that speed up, of course, will help you make sure you hit the weak points necessary, kill all the minions as necessary. just a very nice character for this stage. Stage 3, again, you're going to have to take out the Pierce Obstructors all in one shot. Try to take advantage of Queen Metalia down there. It will call down the Spectres. And now you're going to want to try to, if you hit off of Queen Metalia on the bottom, you are going to be able to defense down all the monsters. Now, you can try to take out the Spectres at once. That will definitely help. I do believe they attack up all of the other monsters, so definitely not good. But once you get that defense down on Queen Beryl in the middle, you can actually directly attack her. So if you can pinch yourself in between that Agni and Queen Beryl, or like right there, you can actually do a lot of damage at once. And the important thing to remember is that Queen Beryl and Queen Metalia are linked HP wise. So if you dish damage to Queen Beryl, you are actually going to be contributing to clearing the stage by taking out Queen Metalia. Actually, I think that's the only way to do it, because you're not doing much damage to Queen Metalia directly anyway. Alright, Battle 4. So it's just previous stages, even more complicated. As you can see, you got the pairs split in half. On the left, you have the Pierce Obstructor with the Cerberus, likewise on the right. Make sure you take out both at the same time, but meanwhile you have the Spectre on the bottom and the ability locker on the bottom right. You know, as if the stage wasn't hard enough, you know, you do have to worry about getting ability locked. And so, as you can see, there is some space in between Queen Metalia and those bottom monsters. Otherwise, you just want to wedge yourself on the top left, top right to make sure you get those Cerberuses down. They do heal each other every other turn, so if you can try to whittle down their HP, but you only have one extra turn to actually KO them. And of course, if you're not aware of the turn, you might actually miss out on that. And as you can see here, I was trying to get that heart, but unfortunately that heart is embedded inside of Queen Metalia, so couldn't do that. But luckily, you know, like I said earlier, Benzai 10's strike shot gives her so much extra firepower that is perfectly enough to take out all of the other guys. So one-on-one against Queen Metalia and Queen Beryl is super, well, I think you have to do that in order to kill her. So again, don't forget that the weak point does move every time you hit it, so making sure you are aware of where those weak point locations are is going to be important to clearing this stage. As you can see, it's on the bottom as well as the top left of her. Usually there's 3 spots, but I guess anyways. Lu, strike shot turns him into a Pierce, so able to get that heart, as well as making sure that, you know, being aware of where the weak point is going to be, top left, bottom, going through a course that can handle that. And there you go, got Queen Metalia, who was the, you know, the true final boss of the Sailor Moon series for Crystal, I think. Okay, again, what you need to do is no different. Make sure you take out the Pierce Obstructor and its corresponding Cerberus. That is the bottom half with the top half. Luckily, it was the top Cerberus that is healing, so we were able to leave that bottom Cerberus in a critical state and successfully take him out. And the good thing is that this stage only features 2 levels for the boss, so thank God it's not a 3-4 level affair. I mean, it is insane. And if you hear anybody say it's easy, and you know they're using like 2 Benzai 10s with a Sandalphon, go tell them to buzz off, because this is not easy. But once you're able to take out all pairs, again that blackout happens and you're able to reorganize the stage. Again, you don't need to hit the skull to take out the Pierce Obstructors. However, you will need it to dish out damage to the boss and the Agni on the bottom. That was pretty agonizing right there. I was like a millimeter short of tapping that last Pierce Obstructor to take them both out, but that's okay. We'll use Benzai 10's strike shot to help us out here. unfortunately got a bad irregular bounce there, which, I mean, that's the MO of this state, I feel like. All these irregular bounces. So kind of a waste of a strike shot, but at least, you know, with Penglai 10 at an 8-turn cooldown, in case you don't actually have her, you're using her as a friend. Using her quick and often is going to be super helpful. Definitely recommend. Again, make sure you take out the Pierce Obstructors before that middle number goes to 0. You will get a huge explosion hit on you, which will make surviving a little bit difficult. Kind of unfortunate wasn't able to get a better pinch out of there to do more damage to Queen Metalia, but basically just doing the same thing over and over, try and get the Pierce Obstructors down, hit the skull, and then dish out damage to Queen Metalia. And I'm going to say it again, do not forget that the weak point moves every time you hit it, so you're going to want to make sure you are aware of the weak point locations of Queen Metalia and properly path your path so that you can hit them all. Again, final stage, nothing new here. Try and take out the Pierce Obstructor along with its corresponding Cerberus. The top half is one pair, the bottom half is another, and that Agni is just going to be in the way until then. So hopefully you don't get stuck in between it and the Pierce Obstructor. Great shot there. Taking out the bottom half, so now we just hope that Lu can take out the top half. And luckily, he was able to wedge up there to take it out. So now we have the skull come down, and we've got the ability lock on the top right, the Spectre on the bottom left, so we're going to want to try and take them out as well. And you know why I keep saying don't forget that the weak point moves? Because I made that mistake here. Right? I was like, oh, I can totally kill it now. And then I completely forgot about that. So really you want to make sure, you know, a diagonal 45 degree probably was much better than what I did there. And, you know, at this point I was thinking, oh, I lost it. I screwed up. Wasted my opportunity to win here. And really, like, for these kind of difficult quests, that one mistake is very much possibly, you know, you're sealing fate. You're sealing your fate there. But that's okay. Got to keep going. Now, unfortunately, the ability lock, I wasn't able to take him out, so he was able to activate that. But as you can see, there is a path between the skull and the ability locker. So given Lu's extra power, I was hoping for the best, and luckily got that timer to increase everybody's strike shot count, which basically lets me get another Penglai 10 turn, which I was not expecting to have. And I'm not sure if I learned my lesson on that one, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I actually took advantage of the warp there, because it was able to take out the Agni on the bottom, but I'm going to assume that I was lucky there just because I was pretty bummed here. Now here I was thinking about using Moriranmaru's strike shot, but I was pretty sure that without that power up, you're not going to be able to get that extra power, which means it will do absolutely nothing. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know if it's good or not, so if anybody knows out there whether using Moriranmaru's strike shot is worth it or not, but I think that's a no. I am not that. Anyways, that seems like a bad move. I should have gone diagonally so I can hit the weak point. Anyways. Something like that, right? You're able to hit the weak point, hit the skull, and we've got 2 turns left. And you get the awesome Sailor Moon music playing alongside with the last section of the game. And okay, here we go. This is do or die. Again, getting that the sand timer to increase the strike shot probably saved me here. I kind of thought that this angle was really bad, so I thought I would make sure I guarantee an angle that hits the weak point, so that if I can get the speed up with Lu, as well as eventually hitting the skull, which I did, it would allow me to do just enough damage to kill Queen Metalia. Again, not a clean run, very sloppy at the end, but you know, this was my only time I've ever gotten even to the boss stage. So super nervous, and it was super late. It was like 5 a.m. 6 a.m. when I finally got this. So but yeah, I wasted a lot of continue mins to try and get this clear. I don't know if I can, you know, do this reliably still, but hey. And let's just go through the rewards. So as you can see, clearing it once will get you the Himiko Sailor Mars special transcension mode. If you receive the mission, it will automatically take you to the screen. Take you to the screen to slide her to that new form. She also has a different voice for the strike shot, I believe. You can also get the new good job sticker. You can access it through your options. Hit that rank button on the top. Oops, I forgot to take the mission clear. Hit your rank button on the top, that blue button on top. You can easily access that screen. Go to the leftmost tab, hit your title, and then on the top right you can change your good job here. Of course, you need to hook your account up to line before you can do that. But yeah, and oops, we don't need to play that again. If you clear twice, you'll get the Yomi version, sorry, the Tuxedo Mask version of Yomi, and if you clear it 3 times, you will get the Sailor Mercury version of Penglai, which I definitely need to get, so we'll have to try it a few more times. Again, if you're not interested in these special versions, you do not have to clear the stage. Of course, the 5 orbs is also a nice allure to clearing the stage, but it's not the end of the world. Again, you do need Himiko, Yomi, and Penglai already in your box to be able to get the slided ascension. They don't give out these monsters. It's just a special ascension or transcension version of their existing monsters. Alright, that's it for today. I know it's been, I don't think I've posted a clear video in a long time, but I thought Queen Metalia was crazy enough to try and throw something up. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Yeah, that's it for today. Until next time, bye bye.